Well, listen to me. It's okay to feel how you're feeling. I'll be honest, I really am at one of the lowest points of my life. I haven't felt like this maybe ever. This like constant sense of dread. I am just here to tell you that everything is going to be okay. Even if it doesn't feel like it, it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Really, the only rules of life are not to give up. That's the only rule. There's no other rule. You're just not allowed to kill yourself. That's pretty much it. Because if you do, like it fucks your karma up. It'll make you repeat the same existence over and over and over and over and over again. I'm pretty convinced that I fucked myself in a past life by killing myself in a past life, and I'm sure I've killed myself in many, many, many past lives, because I think that pattern stays with you. That karma stays with you. But fuck it, this is going to be the life where I break my generational curses. This is going to be the life where I stay alive, because I'm learning how to give myself permission to just be. There really are no rules. There's no rules. There's nothing that you have to be. You don't even have to be nice. You don't have to be successful. You don't have to be happy. You don't have to have a lot of friends. You don't have to be consistent. You don't have to be productive. That's all like bullshit that society made up, but that's not like a real thing. It's not a real requirement of existing here on Earth. Just because you don't check those boxes doesn't mean that your life is worthless. Just because you don't check those boxes doesn't mean that you should kill yourself. Just because you don't check those boxes doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. And there's a million more boxes than that. I only listed like a few, but you know what I mean when I say boxes, right? Like the expectations that society, like both outspokenly and unspokenly, places on you. All throughout your life, you're receiving these messages from the people in your life. And sometimes they mean well, like your parents and your teachers and your coaches and your friends. People are not trying to hurt you. But I think it's worth saying that, these expectations that people place on us, these expectations that we place on ourselves, they're not real. They're not necessary to our survival. It's just like a fake. It's like a video game. These are like made up requirements. There are real requirements to survival, including rest, water, food, community. Community is one of those that's a real requirement of life. You cannot survive in isolation. I believe that. Sunshine, nature, all of those things are like actually non-negotiably important to your survival, and your enjoyment of your time on Earth. But all the other bullshit, like money and space and land and clothing and, I don't know, indulgence and entertainment and status, all this other shit that we spend like 90% of our time worrying about and ruminating on and obsessing over, like, oh my god, that shit does not matter and it's not important. It's not important to our survival. It's really not. And so, like, maybe it's not fair to say that it's not real, because those expectations, that lifestyle is very much real, but it's not really necessary, is probably more accurate to say. It's not necessary. Stick to what's necessary. Focus on what's necessary. If you can, with all your might, spend as much of your brain power as possible on only the necessary things. Rest, water, food, community. And when I say food, I mean food that grows, right? I don't mean animals. Rest, water, good food from the earth, community, sunshine, time in nature. Those are the basics. That's basic. That's what you need. That's what we've needed since humans were invented. Since we first evolved onto this planet, since we were first created. Since the very first Homo sapiens, like, that's what we were required. That's what we still require. That's what we require as babies, all the way up through our adulthood and into our old age. It's the same simple shit. We require the same simple things throughout our whole life. And I feel like if all I had to do was focus on those simple requirements, I wouldn't want to kill myself. I only fall into bouts of suicidal despair when I start judging myself and my life on this, like, invisible and irrational standard. When I started thinking about, like, my big dreams and, like, the success, quote unquote success that I want for myself, and, like, the things that I don't have that I wish I could acquire, when I start focusing in that regard, I get really depressed. I lose sight of the point of life. Because if I just focus on the things that I need, like, wow, I'm fucking royalty, right? I live like a queen. I have access to incredible resources. I have so much good food at my fingertips, unlimited amounts of good, nutritious food. I have clean water in my house, literally 20 feet away from me at all times, I have hot water. I have safe, ample space to myself. I have privacy. I have yard. I have a house that I can lock. I have a street that I can walk down without feeling threatened. I have trees in my backyard, plants that are growing, a garden. And I have time. I have time to rest. I have time to, take care of myself. I have everything I need. And community, right? I have people who love me. I have people I love, who I love to spend time with. I have a team. I have a village. I have people I can count on to have my back. Why isn't that enough? I gotta let that be enough, All right. love you. That's the word for today. That's it. It's just, let's you and me, let's focus. Let's focus on the things that are necessary to our survival. Okay? And let's let those things be enough. Because most of us are luckier than we acknowledge. And most of us have what we need to survive. And if you don't have what you need, then reach out for help. You'll find that it's available for you. Okay? Praying for the highest vision for all of us. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be free of suffering. May all beings be free of suffering. You and me included. I love you. Have a great day.